Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're doing great. This is Nick with PulseRoller's tech support. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to use offline systems. This is a new feature in EasyRoll Plus. This is used to either create a new backup from scratch or import an existing backup and apply changes as needed. This will mostly be used by integrators to get a bulk of the tedious work done off-site, but it also has its uses for end users, applying changes that would normally require auto configuration. Let's get started. We go to Create New Project. Just going to name this one ABC and Create. Open that project up. Add new subnet. I'm going to give this one 192.168.10. And I'm going to leave the subnet mask as it is, but you can of course change this if you need to. Create. And I'll open up that subnet and add modules. So here you can pick the 4th octet that you'll start at and then create modules until. I still recommend starting at 20. That's where it'll be when you auto-configure, and not changing the IP addresses after auto-configure will preserve ability for auto-replace if that's something this network needs. But you can of course change this 4th octet if it needs to. You can change it to 10, 40. You would just then have to manually change the IP addresses to match when you go to upload this project. So here we can select module. I'm going to pick the convey links. And mode of operation, I'm going to pick 2 zones EPA. And for flow of direction, this is only referring to the IP addresses, not the flow of product. And I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. And here we can see the modules that I've just created. We also see these red stars next to each module, as well as one next to the project. This means that we've made a change since our last save state. We either need to save the changes or undo the changes. I'm going to go ahead and save them. So I'm going to go ahead and make a second subnet. Click Add New Subnet. I'm going to make this one 192.168.11. And I'll want the subnet mask to match my previous network. Create. And now we can go ahead and add some modules to this one. And we'll make this one start at 10 and then go to 15. For this, I'm going to use the convey links AI2. And for mode of operation, let's pick CPA 1 zone so we can see the difference here. And for flow of direction, let's change this to last to first IP so you can see what I mean here. So we can see here it ends with 1110 and then moves up to 1115. And then we can see each of these nodes has one sensor, one motor attached. We can also see those red stars again, which means that we've made changes, and I'm going to go ahead and show you what happens when we undo these changes. Yep. So now we're right back to where we were before the changes. So now that we have our base subnet made, I'm going to go ahead and make module-specific changes. Let's make 1021 a PLC I/O card. So we'll just click on that card here. Activate PLC mode. And then it's asking if I want to clear external connections. This is its logical connections to its upstream and downstream neighbor. I prefer to keep these, so I'm going to click No. Now we can see the card is listed as PLC mode. We go to Main. We can see, confirm that it's in PLC mode. We can also use these plus and minus buttons to navigate to the next node. So now let's say we want to change the product flow of direction for certain ZPA cards. Right now it's left to right, but let's say we want to make certain cards right to left. We'll go back to the configuration tab, and right here under product flow, change it from left to right to left. Now we have apply and we have apply to range. Apply to range gives you the ability to put all these settings into all of the cards on this subnet. Let's unselect the PLC I/O card and 1023, and we'll go ahead and click OK. And now if we go back to the main page, we can see product flow has changed. But on 1023 it remains the same, and 1024, 1025 are now right to left. We can also see these red stars again. We have a shortcut to save now that we're on the module settings page. So we're going to go ahead and use that save button. And now we can see those changes have been saved. Let's also change the ZPA setup of 1022. Right now it's 2 zone ZPA. Let's make it 1 zone ZPA. We then select which side the sensor and motor will be plugged into, and then apply. So So now if we go back to main, we can see that there's one sensor and one motor connected on the right side. But let's say we have one sensor but two motors. We go back to configuration, change the ZPA type to one zone belted. So now we can see there's one sensor, two motors, and once again, we'll save those changes. Now we can go over here to the subnet view, and on this page we can see Flex Zone. It is enabled by default, so let's go ahead and disable it. We can also see a topology view of the subnet we've just configured. Over here we can see the PLCIO card does not have zones, and 1022 only has a single zone. So now we'll go ahead and save changes. So now let's assume our project is ready to use. We have a few options here. We can export it as a backup file, or we can upload to system. Upload to system is an option that would only be used on-site, where in online systems you have discovered a topology that matches what you have in this project file. We'll go over that at the end of this video. We can also export as project file. This exports this project as an EasyRoll Plus backup. EasyRoll Plus backups are different than old EasyRoll backups, so it may be helpful to note that this is for EasyRoll Plus. Save. We can also export as legacy file, and this exports it as a backup that's compatible with old EasyRoll. This may be helpful with customers with restricted network access who can't update software readily. So we'll export as legacy file, and I'll name this one Old EasyRoll. So now let's say you're an end user, you have a backup of your system, and you'd like to make a change that normally requires auto configuration. We have our backup in backup viewer. This here is my backup from my desk, and I'm going to export to project. So we'll export. Now we can see that it's here in offline systems. So when we open that, click this IP address, and let's say I want to turn this card from 2 zones to 1 zone. So I'm going to change that. Then I'll choose which side the sensor will be connected to, and then apply. So now let's go back and check on the main page, and we can see now it's 1 sensor, 1 zone, 2 motors. We'll go ahead and save these changes. And then we can either export it as an EasyRoll Plus backup or a legacy EasyRoll backup. Always helpful to put something like edit or change in that description. And now your edited backup is ready to restore to the network. Now let's discuss upload to system. Upload to system means this topology that you have in this project file matches what you have in online systems. Upload to system will cause a momentary disruption in the convey links network as it extracts the topology. On this page, you should see the topology in your project file matches the lower section, which is your online systems. Highlight the system in your project file, click and drag it to the online systems topology. Then click apply. This will again cause a momentary disruption as it uploads all of the settings from the project file onto your online system. You should see successfully uploaded to X amount of modules, and then you can exit commissioning view. Be sure to subscribe to PulseRoller on YouTube, where you can find other helpful tutorial videos, or if you have any suggestions, feel free to let us know. Till then, have a great day.